Hello students. This is our first lecture of cost and management audit, and in this lecture we are going to start our syllabus of cost and management audit, that is also called CMAD, our paper number 17. So we are going to start from section A only, that is cost audit, which carries the weightage of 50%, that is 50 marks, in which we have to learn 8 chapters. We have to learn total 8 chapters related to cost audit. And we are going to start from the first chapter, basics of cost audit. So we are going to start from basics of cost audit. So in the introduction session, I was telling you about a material which we are going to provide you. I have a sample of that material in which chapter 1 is included, that is basics of cost audit. You can see this material. It is very simplified and it covers the whole study material, and it is full of flow charts and diagrams and all, so it becomes very easy to learn and remember the points. So this is just a sample in which only chapter 1 is included. Okay, so let's start. Basics of cost audit. This is a very basic chapter, as the title suggests. This is the basic chapter. It's just an introduction of cost audit. It is going to tell us that what is cost audit, what are the advantages of cost audit, objectives, scope, nature of cost audit, everything, the introduction related to cost audit. Introduction of cost audit we are going to learn in this chapter. So this is a very easy and basic chapter. Okay, so let's start. I know you all are familiar with the term audit. I know you are familiar because you have studied a whole subject related to audit in your CMA Inter, right? But still, I am going to give you an introduction of audit. What is audit? Can anyone tell me what is audit? Can anyone tell me what is audit? Tell me what is audit. Okay, so I am going to tell you what is audit. Basically, the meaning of the term audit is to verify something, to examine something, to check something. The meaning of the term audit is to examine something or to check something, to verify something in detail. Audit means to examine something. Audit is an examination. Audit means to examine something, to verify something, to check something in detail. And who performs the audit? Who does the audit? Audit is performed by the auditor. Audit is performed by whom? Auditor. The auditor performs the audit. See, what is given in the definition? An audit is an independent examination of financial information of an entity. So what is audit? Audit is an examination. What kind of examination? Independent examination. Audit is an independent examination of financial information of an entity. See what it is saying. Let's break the definition into small parts and I will tell you the meaning of each and every word and each and every part. So audit is an independent examination. What is the meaning of the word independent? Who performs the audit? An auditor. So an auditor is an independent person. Auditor is an independent person. Independent means someone who does not have any personal interest. Who does not have any personal interest. Who is not having any pressure on him, who is not having any pressure on him, who does not have any personal interest in that entity in which he is auditing, who is neutral, who is unbiased. Someone who is neutral, someone who is unbiased, who does not have any personal interest in that entity in which he is performing the audit, who is without any pressure, who is not having any pressure on him, is an auditor. So an auditor is an independent person, and he examines what? The financial information of an entity. So the auditor is an independent person who examines independently. So audit is an independent examination of what? Of financial information of an entity. Now what is the meaning of the term financial information? What is the meaning of the term financial information? Financial information is the information related to the financial statements. Whatever information the financial statements are giving is known as financial information. Okay. So financial information is what? Information given in the financial statements of an entity. Now, can anyone tell me what are the financial statements of an entity? What things are included in the financial statements of an entity? Can anyone tell me this? What things are included in the financial statements? Can anyone tell me? Yes, right. Financial statements include balance sheet, profit and loss account, and cash flow statements. Some other things are also included, but those cases are different. Basically, in financial statements include balance sheet, profit and loss account, and cash flow statement. Anything which shows the financial position of an entity. Anything which shows the financial position of an entity is a financial statement. Like balance sheet, profit and loss account, cash flow statement. These things are what? These things are financial statements of an entity. And financial information is information given in the financial statements, which shows the financial position of an entity. I hope this is clear. An audit is an independent examination of financial information of an entity. Okay, whether profit oriented or not, irrespective of its size and legal form. What it is saying is, it does not really matters whether the entity is profit oriented or not, whether it is a small business or a large business, whether it is a public company or a private company, a trust or a firm. It does not really matters what is the form of the company, what is the legal form, what is the size of the company, what is the motive of the company, to earn profit or not to earn profit, that is NGOs and not profit organizations. It does not really matters. If it comes under the criteria of the audit is to be performed, the audit will be performed. So audit is an independent examination without any personal interest to examine the financial statements of an entity, whether profit oriented or not. It does not really matters whether the entity is profit oriented or not. It's a small business or a large business. It is a public company or private company, a trust or a firm, whatever it is. If it falls under the criteria of audit, the audit will be performed for sure. The audit will be performed for sure. I hope you understood. Then what it is written? When such an examination is conducted with a view to express an opinion. Now what is the purpose of the auditor? Why he performs the audit? He performs the audit. He examines everything in order to express his opinion. He is only going to express his opinion that whether the financial statements are true and fair, whether they are representing true and fair view or not, whether they are correct or not, whether they are accurate or not, if there is any misstatement, if there is any fraud, anything, the auditor is going to express his opinion in the audit report. about the financial statements, about what he examined, what he verified, what he checked. He is going to state his opinion in the auditor report. Now, to whom he is going to give the opinion? For whom he is expressing his opinion? For the users, the stakeholders, right? For the users of the financial statements, the stakeholders, the shareholders, the owners of the company who have invested their money in the company. So the auditor is going to express his opinion in the audit report for the users, for the users and the stakeholders, the shareholders, owners of the company who have invested their money in the company, right? So it is given that the purpose of audit is to express an opinion in the financial statements. The main purpose of audit is to express an opinion on the financial statements, right? So this was very easy, and it was a basic definition of audit. I hope it is very clear to you all. Okay, so come, let's see the green box. What it is written in green box is the term. It is basically telling us the origin, where from where the audit came, from where the audit came into the existence. The term audit originates from a Latin word audire, meaning to hear, meaning to hear. The term audit was originated from a Latin word audire, which means to hear. Now, why audire? Why it was originated from audire? See, in ancient days, what happened? One person, one trusted person, a responsible person was appointed by the entity to hear the accounts, which were read out loud, which were read out loud in the public, and that person used to hear those accounts, and he tried to figure out the mistakes in the financial statements. He also tried to figure out whether the employees are negligent or they are really responsible, whether everything is correct or not. They hear those accounts which were read out loud, and they tried to find out the mistakes and everything, that whether the employees are really responsible or not, whether there is any mistake, whether there is any fraud. In those days, single entry system was there. So everything was recorded once, like expense, cash gone, cash came, everything, cash paid, cash earned, whatever it was recorded only once. So it was very easy to read that, and one person used to listen that, and he tried to find out the mistakes in the financial statements. So audit came from the word audire, which means to hear, because in the ancient days it was based on hearing. It was based on hearing the accounts, right? See, here is one kind of difference is given. In traditional audit, it was focused on hearing the accounts. It was focused on hearing the accounts. And modern audit, now the current audit is based on expressing an opinion in the audit report in the written form. In traditional audit, it was focused on hearing the accounts, and in modern audit, it is focused on expressing the opinion in the audit report. Everything is in written form. The users can see that. The users can consider that. So auditor expresses his opinion in a written form in audit report, and it is presented to the shareholders, to the owners of the company. Because the banks, the financial statement, financial institutions, the stakeholders, users, everyone, the owners, everyone relies on the audited data. Everyone relies on the auditor's opinion on the financial statement. The auditor's opinion is a base for the trust of people, base of every base. It is a base of the trust of people, the government, banks, financial institutions, everyone relies on the audited data only, because the shareholders have invested their money in the business, so they have the right to know, they have the right to know that what the company is doing with that money, how the company is performing its operations. Is the company is following the objectives or not? Is everything is in line with the objectives or not? So the shareholders have right to know this. That's why audit is performed. That's why audit is performed. So the auditor is a representative of the shareholders, of the owners of the company. The owners, the shareholders trust on the audited data only. They trust on the auditor opinion. They rely on the auditor's opinion only, because they cannot go into the company and check anything or everything. So they rely on the auditor only. Na? Auditor expresses his opinion in the auditor's report, and that report is presented to the owners, to the shareholders in the meetings. Okay. So I hope the introduction which I gave about the audit is clear to you all, and you are clear that what is the meaning of the audit and what is the purpose of performing the audit, why it is performed, what is the need for the audit. I hope you understood. Okay, so let's move to the next topic. The main topic, the crux of this chapter, what is cost audit? 50% syllabus is about cost audit. So we need to know what is cost audit. We should understand that what is cost audit. Before that, I am going to tell you a kind of story, example, that how cost audit came into existence, why it came into the existence. So here is an example. See, here is an example related to cost audit. See, there was a company XYZ Limited. There was a company known as XYZ Limited, named as XYZ Limited. It was newly incorporated. It was newly incorporated. This company was newly incorporated, right? So what happened in the end of the first year, in the end of their first financial year, the management saw that the company earned very high profits. The company earned very high profits. Company earned very high profits. The company earned very high profits. It worked really very hard. The members worked really very hard. The management was very happy that the company earned very, very high profits. Okay. So at one side they were very happy. But the second thing that came in their mind which made them upset was, can you tell me why they were upset? What could be the reason? They are happy because they have earned high profits. They have worked really very hard. They have earned profits. They were happy, but they were upset too. Can you tell me what could be the reason of being the of management being upset? What could be the reason? If there are high profits, why management was upset? Because with high profits we have to pay high taxes also. We have to pay high taxes also. With management's point of view, they were like, we have worked so hard, we have earned so much of profit, so this is the fruit of what we have done. This is the fruit of what they have done. So they were upset also because they have to pay higher taxes also. With high profit comes high taxes also. Higher taxes are charged on higher profits, right? Higher the profit, more the tax. Higher the profits, higher the tax, right? So they were upset because they have to pay higher taxes also. So what they did, they found a trick. Can you tell me on which profit we On which profit we pay tax? On which profit the tax is charged? On net profit, right? Taxes are charged on net profit. See, they earned income, high income. ठीक है? They earned high income, right? So, as you know, we deduct the cost and expenses from that income. We deduct the cost and expenses from that income. Then comes the net profit after deducting cost and expenses. Then comes the net profit. So the tax is charged on this net profit. So the tax is charged on this net profit, right? So what they did, they had too much of income. They were very happy. Then what they did, they found out a trick in which what they did, they misstated their cost. They misstated their cost in their books. They exaggerated their cost. Suppose the cost was 20 lakh rupees. What they shown in their book, what they stated in their book, that the cost is 40 lakh rupees. That the cost is 40 lakh rupees. They exaggerated it. They misstated the cost. They have shown it at higher value. They shown it at higher value. By this, what happened? If the income is constant, if the income is constant and the cost is shown at higher value, then what happens? The profit would decrease. The profit would decrease. So they misstated their cost. They highly stated their cost in order to decrease the net profit. So if the net profit is less, if the net profit decreases, the tax will also decrease. The tax will also decrease. So this was their strategy to decrease the taxes, to pay less taxes. They did this thing to pay less taxes. Like this company XYZ Limited, many other companies do the same thing. They overstate their cost in their cost records. They overstate their cost in the cost records in order to show less net profit and in order to pay less taxes. So this was the trick of the company to pay less taxes. I hope this is clear. So what did the government do? The government introduced the cost audit. The government introduced the cost audit to have a check on the cost records of the company so that no company could do this. The government introduced the cost audit to have a check on the cost records of each and every company which falls under the criteria of cost audit. I will tell you the criteria for cost audit in the next chapter. In chapter 2, we are going to learn the rules for cost audit. So, the government introduced the cost audit. There were also many other reasons. There is one topic, history of cost audit, in this particular chapter only. So we would learn that also. But for now, you understand that why cost audit was introduced. See. I hope you have copied this. I hope you are clear with this. See. Next thing, you can write this. Cost audit is performed. Why cost audit is performed? What is the purpose of performing cost audit? Cost audit is performed for the verification of correctness of cost accounts. Verification for the correctness of cost accounts. The cost auditor. Who performs the cost audit? The cost auditor. The cost auditor verifies that the cost accounts are correct or not. The cost accounts are correct or not. And the another thing, whether it adheres to the cost accounting plans or not. Whether everything is as per the plan or not. Whether the cost records, the cost accounts are maintained as per the plan or not. So the cost audit is performed for two reasons. Two main reasons are there. The first is verification of correctness of cost accounts. Whether the cost accounts are prepared correctly or not. Whether they are correct or not. Whether they are prepared as per the accounting cost accounting standards or not. And whether everything adheres to the accounting plan, cost accounting plan or not. So these two reasons are the main two reasons for performing cost audit. Copy this. Two reasons for performing the cost audit. Now we are going to study this in detail. We are going to study the nature of cost audit, the meaning of cost audit in detail. See, whatever I have told you is written here. See, like financial audit, cost audit is also an independent examination. Cost audit is also an independent examination of what? Of the cost records. Of the cost records, the cost statements and related information. Of cost records, cost statements and related information. What things are included in cost records? What things are included in cost statements? And what is related information? See, cost records means cost records related to each and every element, like information related to material usage, related to labor hours, related to overhead rate, machine hours, everything is included in cost records. Everything is included in cost records, right? Like material usage, machine hours, labor hours, overhead rate, everything. Okay, everything is recorded in cost accounts. So these are cost records. Now what is cost statements? Report of cost of production, cost sheet and inventory valuation sheet. Everything is what? Cost statements. Cost of production, cost sheets, inventory valuation sheet, everything is what? Cost statements. And related information. Related information includes budgets, cost plans, cost policies, everything. Okay, so this is related information. Basically, everything is included in cost accounts. Cost records, cost statements, related information is what? Which makes cost accounts. So the cost audit is an independent examination of cost accounts. The cost records, cost statements, related information, everything, right? Of an entity to express an opinion. Of an entity to express an opinion whether the cost accounting records are properly maintained or not. The cost auditor expresses his opinion that whether the cost accounting records are properly maintained or not. How he will check? He will see that everything is accurate or not, complete or not, updated or not. He is going to check that whether the records are properly maintained or not, whether everything is accurate, complete and updated or not, whether everything is correct or not. Is there any calculation mistake? Is there any misstatement? Is there any manipulation in accounts? Is there any fraudulent thing they observe in accounts? So they are going to form their opinion, to express their opinion in the cost audit report. Okay, and comply with the cost accounting principles, plans, procedures and objectives. Is everything is in accordance with the plan or not? whether the policies are followed or not, whether everything is in line with the objectives or not. So the cost auditor is going to check this also. Like in financial accounts, it has accounting standards. Likewise, in costs also they have cost accounting standards, which so everything should be in accordance with the cost accounting standards, plans, procedures, and objectives. Okay. It is performed with a view to satisfy the auditor that this represents a true and fair view of the cost of production. So the main thing is to check. The audit is performed to check the cost of production. Like I told you, the companies used to misstate. They used to overstate the cost of production. So basically the cost audit is performed to check the cost of production. Okay, cost of production. So the auditor is going to express his opinion on cost of production, whether it is right or not, whether it is correct or not, whether is there any fraud or misstatement, or everything is correct. It essentially verifies the correctness of cost accounts. It essentially verifies the correctness of cost accounts. I told you, cost audit is performed to see two things: the correctness, the verification of correctness of cost accounts. So it is here written, it verifies the correctness of cost accounts and adherence to cost accounting plan, whether it is as per the cost accounting plan or not, whether the records, the accounts are as per the cost accounting plan or not. Now see what it is written here: standards on cost auditing. Like cost accounting standards, there are also cost auditing standards, which guides the auditor, on various things, like what are the duties of the auditors, what are the responsibilities of the auditor, how he has to perform, how he has to report, how he should maintain his independence, what things he has to include in the report, what would be the structure of the report. Everything, the auditing standards guides the auditor on all these things at each and every stage, whether it is planning, whether it is conducting the audit, expressing the opinion, everything, reporting. The auditing standards are there to guide the auditor on each and everything, how the procedures will be performed. So the auditing standards guides the auditor on various things at each and every stage, how he has to perform, how he has to report, what would be the content of the report, each and everything. It is written here, standards on cost audit provides guidance to the cost auditor through each and every step of the cost audit with regard to audit procedures to be performed, audit procedures to be followed, responsibilities of the cost auditor, and cost reporting, how he has to perform his duties, what are the responsibilities, and how he has to report. Okay, so one simple definition is given. Whatever I have told you is written here. The verification of correctness of cost accounts and of the adherence to the cost accounting plan, whether the cost accounts are correct or not, whether everything is as per the cost accounting plan or not, whether the procedures are followed or not, whether the objectives are fulfilled or not. If in a certain year a company is having the objective of cost reduction, right? The company is having the objective of cost reduction. The cost auditor is going to verify that everything is done as per that objective or not, everything is in line with the objective or not, right? The cost auditor is going to verify this. One more paragraph is there. Cost audit focuses on detailed verification of correctness of costing techniques. Again, the same thing is written. It verifies the correctness of costing techniques, costing systems, and cost accounts, which is necessary to ensure that the records are maintained for the purpose are accurate to drive entities' decision-making process. It is written that everything is verified, that everything is correct or not in the cost accounts. Why? Because the cost accounts should be very, very accurate. The cost accounts should be very, very accurate, because it is the base for the management to take the cost decisions. The management take the cost decisions on the basis of cost accounts only. So it should be very, very accurate. That's why cost audit is performed. Okay. I hope the meaning and the nature of cost audit is clear to you all. I hope it is clear to you all. Now let's come to the scope of cost audit. Scope of cost audit. What is the meaning of scope? What is the meaning of scope? Areas to be covered by the cost audit. Scope of cost audit means areas to be covered by the cost audit. At which areas cost audit will be useful? So, areas covered by the cost audit. Scope of cost audit means areas covered by the cost audit. See, the scope of cost audit encompasses the examination and verification of organization's cost, accounting records, systems and procedure to ensure what? To ensure accuracy, compliance with cost accounting standards and adherence to relevant regulations. Whatever we have learned until now is written in this one paragraph. It is just a summary. Without any delay, let's come to the 10 points given in the flow chart. The main 10 points we have to write in the exam. See, first point is cost control. Cost control. The cost audit ensures the efficient management of element-wise cost. The cost audit ensures the efficient management of element-wise cost. Now, what is element-wise cost? Element-wise cost means the cost of each and every element. It helps us to find out the cost of each and every element, like the cost of material separately, the cost of labor separately, the cost of overhead separately. The cost of each and every element is separate. So we have to find out the cost of each and every element separately. Why? To take the decision related to that particular element. To take decisions related to that particular element. Right? So the cost audit helps to ensure efficient management of element-wise cost. If we have to take the decision related to labor, we should know the element-wise cost of labor. We should know the cost of labor. So the cost audit helps to ensure the efficient management of element-wise cost. Next, pricing strategy. Next is pricing strategy. See, if I am having a chocolate factory, suppose I am having a chocolate factory, I produce 1 unit of chocolate for rupees 20. I produce 1 unit of chocolate for rupees 20. So the cost of per unit of chocolate is 20 rupees, right? Now I will add some margin into it. Suppose 10 rupees. And I sell it in the market for rupees 30. 20 rupees is cost, 10 rupees is margin, and I sell it for 30 rupees in the market. Okay. So the auditor is going to verify that I have charged the reasonable price from the customer or not. I am charging reasonable price or not, and I have charged the reasonable margin or not. The margin should not be unreasonable. The auditor is going to verify the margin, whether it is reasonable or not. Suppose I produce the 1 unit for rupees 20. So the cost of production is 20 rupees per unit. And I charge 50 rupees margin and I sell it into the market for 70 rupees. Is the margin reasonable? Is the margin reasonable? No. I should charge the reasonable price and reasonable margin also. If I have produced it for rupees 20, I cannot sell it for rupees 70. Margin cannot be more than the cost, na? Cost is only 20 rupees and the price 70 rupees. I cannot do this. So the margin should be reasonable, because the auditor is going to verify that for sure. So cost audit aids in setting optimal sales price and margins. So the margin and the sale price should be optimal and reasonable. Next, decision making. Cost audit provides detailed and factual data. Cost audit provides detailed and factual data. So it helps the management to take the decisions. If the management wants to discontinue any product or it wants to invest in a new product, so it would take the help of the cost records, the audited data, right? On the basis of that only the management will take the decision, na? So the cost audit provides data which is factual and detailed, on which the management relies to take the decisions. Next point is activity results. Like the consumers are rational, the producers are also rational. Producers are also rational. If they perform any activity, they find out the necessity to perform that activity. They try to find the necessity why this activity should be performed, and is the activity is going to give the desired results or not. They would see now that they are going to get the desired results or not. Any activity, any decision they are taking, like shifting the team, shifting the plant, buying new machinery, capital restructuring, every decision they take, first they see what is the necessity of that particular activity and is it going to give the desired results or not. So the cost benefit analysis, what the management do is cost benefit analysis. It can only be performed if we have the audited records and if we have cost data, that to cost audited data. So it becomes very easy to do the cost benefit analysis also. Then standard setting. Suppose you have set a standard. I will study 3 hours today for sure. I am going to study 3 hours today for sure, that too continuously. But what was the actual result? You just sat down and you started scrolling Instagram reels and you sat down for 3 hours scrolling the reels, scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. So this is what the difference between the standard and the actual performance. This is the difference of standard as well as actual performance. Like that, in cost audit also sets in standard. It also establishes a standard and budgetary controls. For what? To match the actual results from that standard. Standards are always set and then it is compared with the actual results to find out the inefficiencies. Now you see, you set a target of 4 hours of what? Studying continuously. But what you did, you just sat down and scrolled the Instagram reels, right? So there is wastage of time. There is inefficiency. Which is spotted. How? Because we have set a standard, and then when we compare it with actual results, we get the areas where there is inefficiencies, where there is wastage of time and all. So the cost audit establishes standards and budgets, which helps to compare it with the actual performance. Next is waste reduction. Waste reduction. Suppose we have invested in an activity which is not giving the desired results. So it is wastage. It is not even giving the profit and not even able to recover the cost. So it is what? It is wastage now. So we would cut down that activity. Wastage is not only for raw material. Wastage is also for time, for concentration, skills of the labor, everything. So we would cut down that activity. So the waste would be reduced. So the cost audit minimizes wastage in operations. When we spot the inefficiencies, when we spot the areas where there is waste, we cut down that, and what happens? The wastage is reduced. Next, inventory valuation. The value of the inventory should be very accurate. The value of raw material, finished goods, work in progress should be very accurate, because it helps in financial reporting also and for tax purposes also, for taxation purposes also. So the cost audit ensures the inventory valuation, that inventory is correctly valued, the precise inventory valuation, whether the inventory is valued correctly or not. Then the next point is efficiency improvement. Efficiency improvement enhances overall operational efficiency. When we reduce the wastage, when inefficiencies are spotted, we try to improve on all points. Like that, the efficiency is improved. Then productivity assessment. What is productivity? Productivity means output given by per unit of input. How much output the given input is producing is productivity. If with less input we are producing more output without compromising in quality, then we are productive, right? Then we are productive. So the cost audit ascertains actual productivity and wastage levels. Wastage is also spotted, and we try to find out the productivity, that how much output is produced by the given input. Okay. Then stakeholder value. The last point is stakeholder value. The cost audit ensures that it assesses the performance in terms of stakeholders value. Cost audit ensures that the company or the entity is providing value to the stakeholders. How the company provides the value? By minimizing wastage, by cost reduction without compromising in quality, by uh, pricing the product smartly, by using the resources wisely. That's how the company provides value to the stakeholders. The entity provides the value to the stakeholders by pricing smartly, using resource wisely, and by cost reduction without compromising in the quality. This is how the entities provide value to the stakeholders, to the users, to the owners, right? So the cost audit ensures the performance in terms of stakeholders value. I hope these 10 points are clear to you all. These are very easy, and if a question comes asking scope of cost audit, you have to write only 7 points. You have to write only 7 points for this. 7 to 8 points. No need to write the 10 points. If you forget 2 points also, it is okay. You can write 7 to 8 points, and that too you don't have to write 4 line point. You don't have to write each point for 4 lines. You can write 1 to 2 lines for 1 point. And you don't have to write this key point separately and this explanation separately. You don't have to write like that. You include the key point in the explanation only, and try to write 1 to 2 line points. 7 to 8 points are enough, and that too you don't have to explain in 4 lines. Okay. So I am going to give you a memory trick. So you would never forget. You are never going to forget this 10 points. You would remember all the 10 points for sure. You will remember all the 10 points for sure. You are not going to forget a single point. I am sure. So I am going to give you a memory trick. First you go through all these points, and I am going to give you a memory trick. I am going to give you a memory trick for this. See, in the memory trick, we would take the first alphabet of each and every key point. First alphabet. See. C, I took the first alphabet of each and every key point. C, P, D, A, S, W. C, P, D, A, S, W. I, E, P, S. I, E, P, S. I took the first alphabet of each and every key point. See, so you just have to remember one sentence. You have to remember one sentence which I am going to tell you. You just have to remember one sentence I am going to tell you. See, and we would form the sentence from this alphabets only. See, cool people do amazing stuff with efficiency, innovation, power, style. Repeat after me. Cool people do amazing stuff with efficiency, innovation, power and style. Repeat after me. Cool people do amazing stuff with efficiency, innovation, power and style. Cool people do amazing stuff with efficiency, innovation, power and style. If you can remember this sentence, you are going to remember all the 10 points. You are never going to forget that. You are never going to forget that. Now see how I am going to relate those points. From C, we had a point cost control. C for cool, C for cost control. Then from P, we have pricing strategy. P for people, P for pricing strategy. D for decision making. D for do, D for decision making. C for cool, C for cost control. P for people, P for pricing strategy. D for do, D for decision making. A for amazing, A for activity results. A for activity results. S for standard setting. Right? W for wastage control. E for efficiency improvement. Then I for inventory accuracy. P for productivity assessment. S for stakeholders value. So you understood how I made this. I took the first alphabet of each and every key point and then I related it with the points. I made a sentence and then I related it with the points. See how easy it is. If you remember this sentence, cool people do amazing stuff with efficiency, innovation, power and style. If you can remember this sentence, it would be very easy for you all to remember these 10 points. C for cool, C for cost control, P for people, P for pricing strategy, D for do, D for decision making, A for amazing, A for activity results, S for stuff, S for standard setting, W with wastage control, E efficiency, efficiency improvement, I for innovation, inventory accuracy, P for power, productivity assessment, S for style, stakeholders value. So I took the first alphabet of each and every key point, then I made a sentence from that and I related each and every word of that sentence with the key point. So repeat after me. Cool people do amazing stuff with efficiency, innovation, power and style. I hope it is clear and I hope it is very easy for you all to remember this line. If you remember this line, this is very easy. And write the key points in the sentence only. Don't write it separately. Try to write 7 to 8 points in this particular question. If the question comes for scope of cost audit, you have to write 7 to 8 points for one or two lines only. Okay, so you copy this and I hope All the 10 points are very clear to you all. So this was our first lecture, and in the next lecture, first we would revise this 10 points and then we would continue with the chapter. In the next lecture, we would continue. Next, we are going to learn the history of cost audit, the genesis and history of cost audit in our lecture number 2. So this was our first lecture, in which what we studied: the scope of cost audit, first the introduction of audit, then the nature of audit, nature of cost audit, what is cost audit and all, and then we studied scope of cost audit. We have learned 3 topics today. First, audit. Second, cost audit, introduction to cost audit, meaning and purpose of cost audit, that is nature of cost audit, and then the scope of cost audit with a very nice memory trick. I hope which is clear to you all. See how easy it becomes when we learn like this. How easy it becomes when we learn like this. It is very easy to remember all the 10 points. It is very easy. It becomes very easy. So with each and every topic which has too many points, I am going to give you the memory tricks. So you are never going to forget. You just have to remember that what line I have told you with which topic. Then it would be very easy for you all. And I have promised you that you will score. You can easily score 80 plus marks in this subject. You just leave it on me. You just have to study and follow what I am saying to you all. Whatever I have told you, you just have to follow that. For this kind of tricks and all, I am here. I am going to tell you each and everything, how to study the points and the topics. Right? I hope you have copied this. I hope these 10 points are clear. In the next lecture, again we are going to revise this 10 points. Again I am going to teach you all the 10 points. We would quickly revise that. I hope this is clear. I hope you understood. And we would be having doubt sessions also. So no worry about that. Don't worry about that. We would be having the doubt sessions also. So we will meet in our next lecture. Until then, bye bye.